Hi, I'm Tim Anderson. Today we're going to talk about the world of slot machines. It's a fascinating world, it's fun, and it's rapidly changing. And in an ever-changing world, greater knowledge gives the player the ability to choose wisely, maximize the enjoyment of the games played, and hopefully make a little money in the bargain. And that's exactly what this video is all about, providing you with the up-to-date information you can use to have more fun. Today we have the uncommon opportunity to talk with Jeffrey Compton, one of the world's leading experts on slot machines and how to play them. Jeff is the author of the Las Vegas Advisor Guide to Slot Clubs. And in between writing and actually playing every conceivable type of slot machine, Jeff lectures widely at gaming conventions in practically every region in the United States. Now let's go to the IGT showroom and meet Jeff Compton. Okay, ready to talk about slots? Jeff has arranged for us to meet here at the International Game Technology Showroom. Jeff, welcome and thanks. And why did you choose IGT?
IGT is one of the leading producers of slot machines and developers of slot machines in the country, in the world in fact. And this is a nice place to show where you're going to see the top slot machines in the country.
Okay. I think when people go into casinos and they hear tales of friends winning money, I think one of the first things they think to themselves is, gee, can I win consistently at slot games?
I hate to break your heart, Tim, but no, you cannot win consistently at slot games.
Okay.
A very small percentage of players may hit this, one-time jackpot on the Mega Bucks or Nevada Nickels or Quarter Mania or something similar, and then have enough money to spend the rest of their life on slot machines and still come out ahead. But slot play is like any other form of entertainment. It's like going to the opera. It's like playing golf.
Okay.
It's like renting videotapes in your own home.
Okay.
It costs money. Now, I don't know if you've seen this, but in the back of some gaming magazines, you see ads that say,
make a living winning.
make a living playing slot machines. They're selling systems. Now, what a system is it doesn't change the odds of the game, but it allows you, it's a creative way to move your money around. Okay, bet twice on this machine and 3 times. That doesn't change the odds. Okay. All it does is give you, an interesting thing to do. But those ads are bogus.
So if I can't win consistently, I'm a little bit disappointed, then why should I play?
Because playing slots is a lot of fun. It's enjoyable, and especially if you're doing it in this wonderful casino in Las Vegas or a lot of other places to play. And if you take the advice of this video, hopefully we'll show you ways where you can play more and have more fun with hopefully less money.
Older slot machines used to be mechanical, and people had an idea of maybe how they work, but the new machines are mostly electronic.
They're mostly electronic.
People don't understand. So how do these machines really work?
Okay, now to completely explain this would take hours of study on both our parts and 10 videos.
Yikes.
So we're not going to do that.
Okay.
But let's give you a quick summary. Inside every slot machine is a little chip called a random number generator. And it is also tied to a thing called a stepper motor, a little round thing, which basically has a dial that has steps in it. Hundreds of times per minute, the random number generator is generating numbers until the exact millisecond I hit the spin button, and then it told it where to stop.
Okay. All right.
Then I hit the spin button again, and the numbers feed out and tell where to stop. Okay, now a stepper motor, it looks like here there's maybe 12 symbols and 12 spaces. Okay, The stepper motor, in fact, on each of these reels has 256 stops.
Wow.
They're electronic stops. They're not mechanical stops.
Okay.
So maybe there is 20 stops that tell it to stop between these two, and 10 stops that tell it to stop here. So of course there are more stops on spaces than there are on actual hits. Okay? So if you have, so every time you press the button, that's what happens. If you have a winning combination, that's wonderful. If you don't, hit the button again.
Okay, that's pretty technical for most people. So what do stepper motors and random number generators actually mean to a player?
Not as much as you might think, except there are 2 things you have to realize. The first thing is that this machine is totally random. Every time I hit it, I have just as much chance of hitting a jackpot as I have of losing. Okay, and the final results change constantly. What's going to happen depends on the exact millisecond I hit that button. Okay. Now, what I mean by random, it's totally like flipping a coin in the air. If you flip a coin for 1,000,000 times, besides proving that you have a lot of time on your hands, your results will get approximately, you'll have 500,000 times on heads and 500,000 times on tails through the very, very, very long run.
Okay.
But if you hit tails 10 times in a row, does that mean you're going to hit tails the 11th time? Or does that mean you're going to hit 10 because you haven't hit heads for a while? You're going to hit, doesn't matter.
So something is not due.
Yeah, it's not due to hit.
Oh, okay.
These machines do not go through winning streaks and losing streaks.
Oh,
okay. But the payback is calculated based on 30 million, 40 million times of hit.
Jeff, when I came to Nevada about 11 years ago and began to be introduced to casinos, and some of the language was a little bit perplexing to me. There's a lot of gaming jargon. So I think for slot players, what do you really need to know as far as terminology goes to understand how to play a slot machine?
You can spend a lot of time learning the lingo, and you have to realize there's player lingo and there's management lingo.
I've heard.
But there are 3 terms and concepts that you should really know if you're playing slots.
Okay.
The first one is handle, the second is payback, and the third is hold.
Okay.
Now, handle is simply the total amount of money you have bet. Okay, for example, we have a 2-coin quarter machine here. So if you play this machine 10 times, which means you're betting 50 cents 10 times, your total handle for that session is $5.
All right.
Okay? Now, you will see around, and we have a couple in this showroom, what I call 45-coin nickel machines.
Those are the newer machines.
Those are the newer machines. If you play those 10 times, because it costs $2.25 every time you play, if you're playing them full coin, that means your handle is $22.50. Now, most of the time, a casino measures handle in hours, or more frequently days.
Oh, okay.
Your player's daily handle. And many players would be shocked at how large that number really is.
Well, then maybe you could give me a feel for what that might mean per hour. If I'm sitting down and playing a machine per hour, how many times am I going to hit that button an hour? What's this really going to cost me?
Okay, most players hit a machine an average of 400 to 600 times every hour. Now that sounds like a lot, doesn't it?
Sure does.
But if I'm playing 400 times an hour, that's once every 8 seconds.
Okay.
So I hit this once, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hit it again.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hit it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Well, if you hit it like that, you won't have to hit it again.
I can win consistently at slots. You have to understand, in showrooms, in order to show all the features of a machine, they frequently have chips in here that are set much higher than you will find on the casino floor.
I sort of had that feeling.
The advantage to that is, a casino can come in and see all the. Please don't think that because I'm winning that we're all going to hit buttons all day.
Okay.
So.
Well, then that leads, I guess, to...
Let me continue. So then our 3-quarter player hitting 75 cents 500 times an hour, it puts through basically $375 through the machine, in 1 hour. And our 45-coin nickel player is putting through about $1,125 through. $1,125 an hour through the machine.
Okay.
Considering that most tourists, when they come to Las Vegas, play slot machines 4 to 6 hours a day, we'll show you why Las Vegas and every other place in town loves slot players.
Okay, there's another term I've heard, and this is one that sounds better to me. It's called payback.
Payback.
What exactly is payback, and how's it calculated? What's that term mean?
Okay, payback is when the scientists and mechanics at IGT or any other of the fine companies that put together machines, they create a chart where using the random number generator and the stepper motor of all the possible things that could happen in this machine. And the sheet goes on and on and on and on.
Okay.
And then what happens is you add up how many times this will happen and the probability of that will happen, the probability. You add that all up, and you get what is known as the payback. Okay,
Okay.
this is how much this machine will return to the player on average. That doesn't mean every player who sits there is going to have that experience. Everybody's either going to have more or less, but on average. Now, usually this figure is between 83% and 98%. Okay, most states warrant that it has to be 83% minimum. Very few places have that low. Most of the time it's about 90 to 93% in most major casinos. Most of these machines will return 90 to 93% of what the player puts in on average.
Okay, I'm not quite clear on that now. How many plays are we talking about that the payback is based on?
The payback is based on literally 50 million to 100 million plays, or the life of the machine, or so what they sometimes call as one cycle.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'm clear now. Now about, there's another term, hold. What does hold
Hold
mean?
is the opposite of payback. You love the term payback.
Yes, I
They
do.
love the term hold.
I'll bet they do.
Okay? So if this machine has a 90% payback, thus the hold is 10%.
10%, right.
That's what the hold is.
Okay. Okay, so handle is how much I'm spending, payback is how much I might get back, and hold is what the casino keeps. But with 10% hold, 5% hold, how's a casino making any money on holds like that?
Don't worry, they're doing well, but let's show you how they're doing well. If you're playing this game for an hour, okay, which is a 2-coin game, and you're approximately putting about $250 through an hour, and they're keeping 10%, that means they're keeping $25 on average from everybody who plays this machine for an hour. On a 45-coin machine, okay, the ones I told you about earlier, they're actually keeping about $100 an hour.
Ooh.
So,
Okay.
you know, nice work if you can get it.
Sure. Okay, I see all these machines in here in a casino. Can I tell just by simply examining a machine for a moment how much it's going to pay back?
No, you cannot. There is no way looking at a machine or looking at this machine or looking at any machine in the house that I can tell the payback. Okay? We're going to later on give you a few hints. Usually when you see signs in a casino shouting 98%. Okay?
Yeah.
98% payback. What they're under the law, they only have to have one machine in the entire bank that returns 98%. And they will not tell you.
Which
and no, the
one?
change
Okay.
girl you tip will not tell you either because she doesn't know either. So, but the rest of the machines are probably close.
Okay.
But only one has 98%. Now, to make this a little clearer on some slot machines, why don't we take a look at some?
Okay.
Okay? Over the last 5 years, manufacturers, including IGT, have really turned on the creative juices in creating new slot machines. 10 years ago, you were pretty much stuck with, 2-coin and 3-coin spinning reels, right? But now we have games that pay extremely large jackpots. We have games versed on dead pop stars. We have games, what we call games within a games. And now we have the multi-line videos that allow you to play several times with one push of a button.
Okay, so why all the new games all of a sudden?
Both the casinos and slot manufacturers want to appeal to a broader audience. Okay. For many years, gambling was an older American's hobby. Now they're trying to appeal to baby boomers. They're trying to appeal to Generation Xers, which is the next generation from baby boomers. Sure. Of course, they want everybody to be over 21, but and these groups were raised on television and video games. Also, computerization has gotten a lot cheaper, so it's given them many, many more options.
Okay. All right, well, then should I play these new games?
Yes, as long as you understand them and have an idea how they work. One of the problems I have with when I see people playing these new games is they don't have any concept of what they're doing. And that doesn't necessarily cut down the enjoyment, but it can get you in a situation where you didn't realize what happened and you see your money go too fast. Let's try this game right here. For example, this Elvis game is a super jackpot, what we call a super jackpot progressive.
Okay.
You see, there's a large number up here, and this is 4,582,000 right now.
Okay.
Okay. Now, a progressive, you can also see progressives in casinos that are much smaller. You'll see a $5,000, a $1,000, a $10,000 progressive. What we mean by progressive is a percentage of every bet that goes in here helps make the progressive grow. Now,
Right.
because we're at IGT right now and nobody's playing, that progressive is not growing.
Sure.
But if you go into a casino, particularly on a Saturday night,
They're
that thing is
constantly moving.
spinning away. Now,
Right,
if you go
right.
at Thursday morning at 2 a.m., it's going a little slower. A progressive may be based on one machine. It may be based on a group of machines in a casino. Or in the case of like Elvis, or in the case of Megabucks, or Nickelmania, it's based on hundreds of machines in hundreds of casinos in one gaming area. It
a
could
big
be all
network.
right. Could be all the casinos in Nevada, all the casinos in Mississippi, all the casinos in Atlantic City. I believe there's even some Indian, Native American networks. These games get especially fun, especially Megabucks, when the total is getting to higher and higher
Yeah.
links, and you see all the news cameras there, and you see all the players playing, and you see it surrounded by a bunch of people cheering them on. And for many years, there was a rumor in Las Vegas that it only happens at new casinos. That wasn't quite true, but it
sure
was good.
seemed like it there for a while.
Yeah, but it was good while it lasted. And so it's like a party going on. Let's keep one thing straight. The chances of hitting these huge, huge super jackpots is about 50 million to 1. And I'd hate to tell you what all the other things that you could do 50 million to 1. The other thing with this game, as I say, this is the popular Elvis game, is that it has with it the feature that if you get a Elvis record in the last reel,
Okay.
you get to see the king. You get to see the king a performance of your favorite song, and we might hit it, we might not. We see what happens, but. So then you hit the spin button. So we get a lovely performance of Elvis on the screen.
Okay.
And we also, once we've had our fill of looking at the king singing, we hit the button again, and it tells us that we won 80 coins.
Okay.
Okay? This extra feature here, and we're going to see it in the next game, is what we call a game within a game. There is the average game here that it gives you the totals here of what I'll win. If I win, if I get 3 sevens, I get 100. If I hit 3 Elvises with 3 coins in, I get $4 million. Doesn't happen real often. But there's also ways of winning through this second system here.
Okay.
Okay? Now let's look at a Wheel of Fortune game. Many games have been based on game shows lately. Let's Make a Deal, Jeopardy,
Right.
obviously because of the large game show audience. By far the most popular has been Wheel of Fortune, and they've brought out an entire variety of Wheel of Fortunes. This is another example of a game within a game.
What's that? I'm not clear on that.
Game within a game again? Okay. It means that there is two things to do. There is the way you can win by the average, by the schedule on the game. For example, this is also what I call a 9-line game.
Right. Okay.
What I mean is you can play 9 different lines. You can play 1 line.
Okay.
You can play 5 lines.
Okay.
You can play 7 lines. You can play 9 lines. And each line, you can also decide you can play 1 line with 1 coin. That's 1 bet.
Sure.
Or you can play 9 lines with 5 coins
Okay.
and spin away. Okay? You have to remember, though, that when you're playing a game like this, you can't think that you're playing a nickel game. You have to
Right.
think in terms of that you are paying 45 nickels. I've seen people play these games, and they're putting in 45 nickels. And if I went up to these people and said, "Do you ever play dollar slots? $2 or $3?" Oh no, we never play dollar slots.
Too rich.
And they're too rich for us, and they don't realize. Or what happens is they win 75 coins, or they win 90 coins, and they think, "God, this game is loose." This game ain't loose. That was 2 bets. So you have to realize the perspective. Now, what I mean by a game within a game is if you get a certain total, if you get a certain set of figures on this particular game, okay, this suddenly switches quietly into what we call the bonus round. Okay? And in this particular case, you get to spin, and the more spins you get, the more money you win. It's totally random. and the more spins you win, and if you hit the same number twice. But it's another way to win money on the thing.
Okay.
On the game. Now, in this particular case, when I hit collect, if it hits on the same letter twice, it will shut off. Okay. Okay, now I collect. Okay. Give me a pause. Not your father's slot machine.
Definitely not.
Yes. So.
Okay, these games are visually exciting, the audio is great, super sound, but how about the payback on these new machines?
In general, the newer fad video, what we call the video reel machines, have higher holds than the traditional mechanics. In other words, they hold more money.
Okay.
There are two reasons for this. One, they're very popular and the casinos can get away with it. Also, manufacturers charge more for these games. I mean, they have to pay for the research and development costs. So casinos pass this cost on to the customers.
Okay, speaking of the hold, I heard somewhere that casinos put all of their loosest slots in a very visible place. For instance, the buffet line. Is that true?
No, that's not true. There are 250 casinos in this country with 250 different theories on where to lay it out. Some slot directors may put their type machines by the buffet or by the restroom or by the entrance or their loose machines by there. Some put their loose machines where everybody can see them and even a sign above them. Some hide them in a corner. There are 30 different versions for that.
Okay, on the other end of the spectrum, though, I've also heard, and I don't know if this is true, that casinos will tighten up their slot machines for the weekend.
Oh, that is another very common misconception, and there's a reason for that. 50 years ago, when a lot of casinos in Nevada were privately owned, and they had maybe 20 slot machines to keep the girlfriends busy.
Right.
Of the guys who came in and gambled. What they would do, and remember they weren't open 24 hours a day. So what they would do is they would change out the reels during, before the weekend. You were only doing it to 10 machines. There was no regulation back then. Now we have regulation, and that's the big answer to that question. As I said, this machine's payback is determined when it is manufactured and shipped.
Okay.
There's a state form that fills up that they have to fill out, and this is the same in Mississippi, Nevada, New Jersey, or on Indian reservations where tribal councils control this. They have to certify what the machine pays. Then, and usually most machines, a slot director has a catalog in front of him, and he wants to look at Elvis, and he has a choice. Maybe a machine that holds 92%. Another one that holds 97%, or he can get one with 95%. And he picks this depending on his market, where he wants to put the machine, and how he lays out his floor.
Okay.
Once he orders the machine, it is certified, once it arrives. If he then chooses to go another system with that machine, okay, he decides to tighten that machine, they have to not only come in and change the computer chip in the machine. There's no little screw over on the side.
You can't do it
quickly.
No,
to loosen the machine, they have to refill out all that government paperwork. They also have to renumber the machine.
Okay.
It usually takes about an hour per machine just to get this all done. So if we were going to change out all the machines on a weekend at the MGM where there's like 1,500 machines, let's just say it would keep a lot of bodies busy, and we'd probably all hear about it's being done. It would be almost impossible to notice, to hide that.
Jeff, I've seen people play slot machines a lot here in Las Vegas and all over Nevada. And they're pretty superstitious bunch. I've seen them rub the machines. I've seen them do all kinds of things. I've seen them maintain that if you feed in a quarter manually into a quarter machine, that it's better than using maybe a bill feeder, or that using the pull arm is actually better than using the spin reel button. Is there anything to that?
No.
Oh, okay.
Remember what we said. A machine is totally random.
Okay.
It doesn't matter how you play the game or what you play the game with.
Or how you rub it,
or how you rub it. Now there is an advantage. Feeding coins in manually, okay, or pulling the lever will slow down your play. You'll spend less money, you'll
okay.
play longer.
All
That's
right.
about the only advantage I can see to that. One time I noticed people bringing in coins in ice trays. They chill the coins, thinking they'll go through the machine quicker. Or some people heat the coins because they think that it makes the machine hot. I don't know. Okay. One time I saw a woman who'd come in, and before every roll, she'd go like this on the machine. I thought she was dusting. And hoping to get a spin. We might know.
Gee, it looks like it's going to work.
Maybe the system works. But this does not change your payback.
Okay, Jeff, last week I was playing slots with my wife. And I played a machine for about 10 minutes. I got up, moved to another machine. Somebody came and sat down in the machine I was just playing and won a jackpot. Well, you know how I felt.
You lose.
Yeah, but I felt like, did I lose a sure thing jackpot?
No.
I felt like I did.
Well, I've had it happen to me, and I feel like I did too.
Okay.
And just because I preach it doesn't mean I sometimes don't practice it. You'd have to have hit that play button on the exact millisecond that person hit the play button when they sat down.
Random.
Chances of that are very rare. That's what I said. Two things we got to realize: slot machines are totally random. Okay. They also change their mind thousands of times per second. Okay.
All right.
So the chances of what would happen over a 10-minute period, or anything could have happened in that 10 minutes.
All right.
And it would still bother me too. Okay. Now let's go back to some of my favorite machines, and let's give you some good advice
Okay.
on how to play slots.
Good.
Okay.
Okay, Jeff, I walk into a casino. I see 1,000 machines on the floor. Give me a tip or two to pick the best machine.
Well, first you got to start before you walk into the casino.
Oh.
Okay. The first thing I do is I try to guess the casino's overall machine hold. Casinos have different hold policies.
Okay.
For example, Las Vegas Strip casinos catering to tourists have higher holds than those catering to local residents because people base this on their market. Downtown Las Vegas casinos have always had a reputation for loose slots. Casinos located in highly competitive areas, Reno, Laughlin, Tunica, the Mississippi Gulf Coast, usually have looser holds and lower holds
All right.
than those isolated casinos located 100 miles from their nearest competitor. I mean,
Right,
what are you
right.
going to do if you get upset? Walk next door?
Sure.
In the magazine Strictly Slots, if you look in the back of it, they have extensive page after page after page of information on casino holds. Depending on the laws in the state, sometimes, for example, in the Atlantic City area, they list every casino and state what their hold is for quarters, for nickels, for dollars.
Okay.
Now in Las Vegas, we can only do it by neighborhood, strip, downtown, off-strip, or locals casinos. Another trick is to check out the casino's video poker schedules. Unlike a slot machine, you can determine a video poker machine's payback just by looking at the schedules. Okay, you have to learn to read them. And we don't have time on this tape to go into that. There are other tapes that discuss that. But in my experience, and I've never had this, I've had this opinion validated constantly, a place with loose video poker will have looser slots because it shows you what their market is.
Okay. Now, what about, well, you talked about video poker. What about reading their schedules? Is that hard? I mean, when I've looked at those numbers, it doesn't make much sense.
It's not hard at all. You don't have to learn how to play the game. That takes a lot of study.
Okay.
But a couple of hours worth of study to just learn that this schedule in Deuces Wild is better than that schedule, or this schedule in Jacks Are Better is better than that schedule.
Okay.
Just looking for and it's a real quick thing. It would take you about an hour to learn, and it's enough for the purposes of just judging the hold of a casino.
All right, I'm interested in learning about that. Where can I get that information?
Bob Dancer, through Casino Player Magazine, puts out a set of videotapes on the subject.
Oh, okay.
He has several publications on the subject. They have software on the subject. Strictly Slots runs this sort of information all the time in it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, now with the information you've given me about how to pick a casino, I choose one. Where do I go from there?
Okay, the first thing I do is I find a machine I can understand how it works. Remember how we talked about earlier? You should know how the machine basically works.
Okay.
And then I find something I can afford, which in my case is probably a 2 or 3 coin quarter machine.
Okay.
This would be a nice example.
Alrighty.
Okay, this machine here. I look for a game with a lower jackpot, not a higher jackpot.
What? Don't you want to win more money?
Yes, I do want to win money. Now, here's the question. If this has a 4,000 coin jackpot and another one has a 40,000 coin jackpot, which one am I going to hit in a short session?
Oh, probably the 4,000.
Probably
Okay.
the 4,000.
Okay, I
yes.
gotcha.
There's something we call swing. You know, we're trying to keep it close to payback as possible. Okay. So then the other advantage of this game is there is you don't lose anything if you're only playing 1 coin. In other words, or you lose very little.
Okay.
Okay. If this one is 2, this one is 4. That's 10, that's 20, which you would expect, 1 coin and 2 coin.
Okay.
And when you get up to the top, this is 1,500 and this is 4,000. That's not that much of a proportional difference.
Okay.
Sometimes, you know, on these big progressive machines like the Megabucks,
Right.
if you play Megabuck short coin, instead of winning 12 million, you win 1,200. That's a minor tragedy. So yes, you should feel awful. And so on a game like this, I'm not going to lose anything if I go short coin.
Earlier we discussed handle and how much money you put into the machine, and then you're talking about how much this machine will take and how much you can win if you're using 1 coin or 2 coins. And that leads me to think about something that I didn't think about the first time I played, and I don't think other people do, is how to manage your money when you go into play in order to maximize your enjoyment, the length of time you can play, and hopefully the money that you win.
Okay. When you talk about money management, sometimes you read about what I talked about earlier, systems. Where you'll read about somebody says, oh, play 1 coin until you have a hit, then play 2 coins, then play one coin.
Yeah.
Those, as I said, do not increase the payback of the machine.
Right, okay.
They might give you something to do to move your money around, but they do not increase the payback of the machine. At best, what they do is might allow you to play at a machine longer. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Which is what you're here for.
Sure.
Most of the rules I practice in money management are extremely simple common sense. For one thing, take only the money to the casino that you can afford to lose. Now, you've heard that a lot. We've all heard that.
Right.
Let me put it a different way. The money you're taking to the casino the next time you go, be it for a day, 2 days, an hour, whatever, if you lost every penny,
Okay.
it's all gone. Can you still be able to pay your bills? Can you still be able to take
Right.
care of your kids? Can you do the things you want to do? Okay. Obviously, if you're going to the movies, you know you're losing $7.50. So if you're
Right,
going to play
right.
golf, you're going to lose $40 or $50. But you know that.
So it's the same
handle
kind of
the
thing.
gambling the same way.
Okay.
Avoid using ATM cards to get money in a casino.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
With the exception of if there's a safety issue. In other words, I show up once, I use the ATM once, I use it for $300 or $100 or $50. So I'm not running cash back and forth. But other than that, casino transactions are extremely expensive. It's not like using the little local ATM at your bank, which is usually free.
Right, right.
Yeah. When you add it all up, it can cost $5 a hit.
Yikes.
And usually when you see the sign of serious gambling addiction, it's people who are going back 3 times, 4 times, 5 times a night to get money out of the machine.
Yeah.
Okay, they're in for trouble. Unless you're bringing more than $1,000 per day to lose. Okay, assuming you have $1,000 per day to lose, I would stay at the nickel and the quarter machines, not the dollar machines, and certainly not anything above that. And when I mean the nickel and quarter machines, I mean machines that take 2 nickels and 3 nickels, or 2 quarters and 3 quarters, not 45
the
or
new
90.
45s,
Right,
okay.
right. And don't increase your bets because you're having good luck.
No?
One of the sad things you see is somebody who spent 3 years playing, they finally have a $1,000 jackpot, they run to the high roller room
Right.
and start playing the $5 machines, and that money vanishes in 10 minutes.
Ooh.
And that's sad. So you'd be surprised how, when you switch up, how fast money can disappear.
Okay, I guess that leads to a question that a lot of people don't have a ready answer for, especially novice gamblers.
Yeah.
When do I quit?
When it stops being fun. You know,
makes sense.
and especially you should quit if you're hungry, if you're getting irritable or angry, or if you're just tired, or you start getting this fuzzed over feeling.
I've seen that look. I've seen that look.
You know, at 4 o'clock in the morning, you know,
Right.
it's time to cut out, and it's time to do something else.
Well, then how about if we follow that old adage, quit while you're ahead?
Again, only if you want to. Okay, remember something. If you play slots regularly, the money that you win someday is going to go back into the machine. And it's maybe going to happen in the next hour or the next 2 hours. And you know, I read these books where they say, well, you divide it into 5 sessions, and then what you do is, if you have a big session, you stop, you stand there for 2 hours, then you wait for the next session.
Who's going to do that?
Yeah, who's going to do that? I see no reason to stop playing on your first day in Las Vegas or Atlantic City. You know, you spent all this time to get out here.
Sure.
And then you take your money home to put it someplace, to bring it back 6 months later and put it back into the machine. If you do have a nice hit, you want to go, you know, have an extra, take your wife to an extra special meal, or go see a show, Siegfried and Roy or Mystere or something
Right.
that you want to spend, that was a little out of your range. Now you have a little money. I think that's nice and you'll remember it. But part of playing is hitting jackpots and running out of money at times. So there is no people who overly agonize because they were ahead and they ended up putting back in the machine. That's part of the deal.
Okay, you mentioned running out of money. Hypothetically, let's say I go to a nice destination resort and, well, for 4 days, and I run out of money on my second day there. But what do I do then?
You stop playing, obviously. You've run out of money. You do not try to get credit. You do not get to your ATM card, and you do something different. You know, I travel a lot to visit gambling all over the country. And whenever I go someplace, I live in Las Vegas, but if I go to Atlantic City or I go to Reno, I go to Laughlin or the Bahamas or wherever, I make a list of things I want to see and do that are non-gambling activities. Now that's very easy in Las Vegas, but almost anywhere you can do this. One day in Tunica, we ran out of money early, so we went into Memphis and did Beale Street. Indian casinos have sometimes fascinating museums, and they're usually also, besides museums on Indian history, they're located in these gorgeous rural settings, scenic settings. So do something, have a battle plan that this is what I'm going to do if I run out of money. And by the way, if this is happening more often than not, you're probably playing machines that are too expensive for your particular bankroll.
Okay.
So.
Okay, finally, you know, I've heard about slot clubs since I've been in casinos. Is it a good idea to join a slot club?
Always.
Always?
Always.
Wow.
Always join the slot club.
Why?
They're free.
Okay.
And if you're going to play slots, one of the fun reasons to play slots, other than playing slots, is you can get, you can get comped meals, rooms, entertainment, things like that along the way.
Wow.
The only way they're going to give it to you is if you use a slot card.
Okay.
And we talk about that more in another video called Getting the Most Out of Slot Clubs.
Okay, great. Hey, thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
It's Game Watch time, where technology meets fun. And it's time to watch some games. I'm Elise the Apprentice. And today we got a story about a slot machine, a young mathematician from Notre Dame, and a trip around the world. And we're going to begin at the Players Network Game Room with Jeff Colt.
This is Jewel in the Crown. What's notable about this game? Well, let's just say it isn't entirely American. As is proper in a game called Jewel in the Crown, and this creation came from the pubs of Britain. For this very proper game, we can properly thank one Anthony Bearlocker. Anthony works in Reno as manager of interactive game designs at IGT. He graduated from Notre Dame with a degree in mathematics, started at IGT as an intern, and quickly worked his way up. In the fall of 1995, they rewarded him with a trip around the world. Anthony went to Europe, South Africa, Australia, China, Japan, and Iceland. Well, in England, Anthony saw Jewel in the Crown. It was made by a Manchester company called Barcrest. Well, IGT loved Barcrest's games so much, they actually bought the company. Here's how you play. With 3 coins in, each time you get a jewel on the pay line down here, it fills up the columns up here. When you complete a row, you get the bonus amount. An emerald. I'm going for more jewels. 3 emeralds. That's worth 100 extra coins. That's what you want to do. You can do the jig if you want. People may point, but you're the one with the money, so it's okay. Now, other games they make include Run for Your Money, where the bonus game is a coin man who runs around until he lands on a bonus amount. And then there's Little Devil, where the bonus is another set of spinning wheels which are packed with cherries for a sure win. I like this game. It has sound effects of fire, a devil went down a Georgia violin solo, and a little demon with spassy words of encouragement. Let's give this Little Devil a try. That's got to draw some attention to you, but that's okay, because you're winning. I'm going to hit this super game button and watch me rack up some extra coins. $38 bonus coins. That Little Devil pays off well. This is Jeff for Game Watch. Don't forget, always bet the max.
Welcome back to Game Watch, where technology meets fun. I'm Elise the Apprentice. Now, slot machines come and slot machines go, but certain machines stick around for years and years. Today we're going to take a look at these very familiar games and find out what makes them slot machine classics. Jeff Colt has the story.
Red, white, and blue, wild cherry, double diamond, you know, it just isn't a casino without these standbys. They've been around for a solid decade. Now, if you've spent any time in a casino with your eyes open, you've seen this slot machine. It's called Red, White, and Blue, and it's been spinning around since it first rolled off the assembly line in September 1989. Before that, slot machines looked much plainer. Down here on the bottom glass, they just had denominations. But what International Game Technology did was to add a touch of exciting mathematics. I know, that sounds a little bit like a contradiction. Who's excited by math? Well, look, there are 3 different levels of sevens, red, white, and blue, and you could put them together in various combos. IGT integrated graphics and math in a really smart and understandable way. It was unique, different, and caught the imagination of players everywhere. It also probably doesn't hurt that it's a very patriotic game and warms the heart of people all over this great land and of visitors from all nations who are soaking up the American experience. I know, it's a little much. I think it's the elegance of the design, the lettering, and the graphics. It reminds me of a 50s jukebox. It's colorful, it's ornate, rich looking, and it's fun, all at the same time. Game manufacturers have noticed that the most successful games aren't those with high concepts, but which simply project a sense of elegance and wealth. This game doesn't pretend it's anything else but a very classy slot machine. Wild Cherry closely followed on the assembly line, and this was the first scatter pay slot machine. That means you get paid for various symbols showing up above and below the pay line. It's a wild game with a wild card, and everybody loves a new thing, especially a new good thing. And Wild Cherry hit it big with the players. And now, the king of them all, Double Diamond, is the most popular slot machine in the world, based on reports from slot bosses and casino managers. So why is it so successful? Maybe it's because it was one of the first to introduce the concept of a multiplier. That means if you have 1 diamond and a winning symbol, you get double your bet. If you have 2 diamonds and a winning symbol, you get quadruple your bet. That translates to big excitement. Finally, you'll notice one similarity among these games. All of the 3 classic machines came out in the early 90s. Why then? Well, there was a big boom in casinos then, and these were the new games that populated the new spaces. As people win jackpots on them, they return to the same machines. Games breed loyalty, and year after year, players fondly remember that machine they won big on. This happened so much with Double Diamond that IGT introduced Triple Diamond Deluxe, and Triple Double Diamond, all which have done very well. Who knows which of today's new slot machines will be the classics of tomorrow? Well, here at Game Watch, we'll keep you posted. I'm Jeff for Players. Thanks for watching.
Game Watch time again, where technology meets fun. I'm Elise the Apprentice, and tonight we're going to examine the video version of the most successful slot game in the industry, Wheel of Fortune. Come join Jeff Colt as he takes a closer look inside the Players Network game room.
The Wheel of Fortune slot game was introduced in December of 1996, and this is a video variation on it. Now this one is a lot of fun. It's the one that's round on the top with the pay table and nothing but video screen in the middle. And here's how it works. You place your bet and you spin your reels until you get a winning combination on the pay line. Look at all the pay lines though. There are 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can bet up to 25 coins here. When you get a winning combo in the first 3 reels, you win the letter in the 4th reel, that's here, along that pay line, and it shows up in the puzzle above, if it wasn't there already. You also get the bonus shown in the 5th reel, here. It's multiplied by the number of times that letter is used in the puzzle. Now those bonus points show up here. The first way to access the bonus points is by getting 3 Wheel of Fortune symbols appearing anywhere on the screen at the same time. That's called a scatter pay. When I get that, bingo, I go to the big wheel bonus screen. Now once again, I have a choice. I choose one of these flippers, W, E, or L. Then I spin the wheel, and when it lands on a number, that's my bonus. Of course, it's multiplied by the number of credits I bet. If it lands on round 2, I go to a higher round with bigger prizes, and on it goes. Now if it lands on bankrupt, see that bankrupt? Don't worry about that. You don't go chapter 11, it just means you go back to the regular game. The second way to get to the bonus round is finish the puzzle. Play until you get all the letters. Look, it says back in the limelight. That's where I'll be when I hit the bonus round. You see, there will now be 5 envelopes, each with bonus prizes in them, and I have a choice. I choose my favorite envelopes, 1 through 5 of them, depending on how many bonus points I have. The more points, the more envelopes I get to choose, and I get a bonus prize. Now, if you like the TV show Wheel of Fortune, you'll be right at home with this video machine. It's got every element of the TV show game, except of course Vanna. This is Jeff for Game Watch on Players.
Welcome back to Game Watch, all you slot lovers. I'm Elise the Apprentice, and I'm roaming around the casino looking for some rhinos. The game I'm talking about is called Roaming Rhinos. And if you like African mammals, or if you like cute, or if you just like fun, this game is for you. Let's roam over to Jeff Colt in the Players Network game room.
Roaming rhinos. I feel like I'm on safari here. The point of the game is to collect rhinos, giraffes, flowers, and other exotic items. These pictures look stunning because the latest rage among slot manufacturers are these gorgeous enhanced video screens, and they're all touch sensitive. You're going to win when you line up winning symbols along any of these 7 pay lines. That's right, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. Look at them zigging and zagging all over the place. There are so many ways to win, you have to press the See Pay Tables button to see all the combos. You see them? So many different ways and combinations for you to win, and they all line up in this order. Now, usually all this information is printed right on front, but there's too much to show all at once. Back to the game. When you get 2 or more rhinos, it gets really fun. They sit in a very cute way. Watch this. Come on, rhinos! Now those rhinos would hold their position. You could say stuff like, sit rhino, sit! And you get 5 respins to see if you can give these rhinos some company. Everybody loves company, and win some more money in the process. Now all those rhinos equal a ton of fun and winnings, but Roaming Rhinos is just one of a family of machines called iGames. Look for the other iGames like Double Bucks, Early Bird, and Triple Bucks. Now we at Players Network figured it takes some pretty free-spirited minds to come up with a game like this, so we decided to investigate the origin of Roaming Rhinos. As it turns out, the game was a result of a weekly bull session, no pun intended, at the IGT headquarters up in Reno. The game development folks at IGT get together every Friday after lunch when everyone's feeling great. They sit around in a room, artists, mathematicians, musicians, and toss ideas around, write stuff on the board, laugh, joke, order pizza. Paulina Glavich, a probability analyst who runs the meeting, along with her boss, Anthony Bearlocker, told me that sometimes they don't even talk about slots, but just about, stuff. What a job. Well, if they're cranking out games like Roaming Rhinos, whatever they're doing is just fine. They can have all the fun they want. It just makes life more fun for the rest of us slot players. This is Jeff for Game Watch at Players.
Welcome back to Game Watch, where technology meets fun. I'm Elise the Apprentice, here to say this entire place is spinning. No, I haven't been drinking. I've been playing slots. In particular, one slot game which keeps spinning and spinning. It's called Bonus Spin. Let's spin over to Jeff Colt's inside the Players Network game room for a closer look.
This is a bonus spin machine. These are spinning reels, and so is this, in a manner of speaking. As you can see, it's actually a vision screen, which is a revolutionary feature in the world of slot machines. It can display anything, messages for you, pretty pictures, as well as real bonus games. Now, the machine called Bonus Spin is pretty much what the name implies. When you get one bonus spin symbol on the third reel pay line with 2 coins in, you get to spin the video reel on top. Look at all the ways to win. There are 6 rows of winning symbols with 5 symbols in each line. Now watch me play. Now I press this button down here. Come on, baby. Show me some spinning here. Come on, spin, baby. Give me something good. Oh, yeah. Look, I just won a 30-coin bonus. Now, every time a symbol lands on the pay line, the symbol is highlighted in these rows to the right. When you fill the whole row with symbols, the credits are added to the bonus meter here. The amazing thing about this bonus game is that the reel continues to spin and rack up credits until the collect symbol hits the pay line. You never know when that's going to happen. It could be at any time. It makes it a very exciting game. Now, this is what's called a Vision Series game, which integrates video technology into the machine. So if you like spinning reels and winning bonuses, and what slot player doesn't, Bonus Spin gives you twice as much spin to win. I'm Jeff for Game Watch.
Time for another edition of your favorite slot machine analyst show, Game Watch, where technology meets fun. I'm Elise the Apprentice, and today we're going to teach you how to become a thief, a diamond thief in particular. Let's join Jeff Colt in the Players Network game room, that's our hideout, and plot our hits.
Okay, here's the plan. First, case the joint and find yourself a diamond thief slot machine. You'll see that it's a special, new kind of game with a video screen up here that can convey all sorts of information. More importantly, how much booty you have in your briefcase. Then, sit down at the machine and feed it some coins. Now, I'd recommend putting in maximum coins possible. Otherwise, how are you going to win this big honking payout? Then, pull this crank. Or you could just press this button. Whichever you want, but either way, round and round they go, and look. Ah! Look at that. When you get a diamond thief symbol here, it shows up in your briefcase up here in the corresponding location. Now, I bet you can guess what happens when you spend some time scooping up loot. That's right. The briefcase fills up. When the briefcase is full, it's time to pack up and scram. The heist is in full progress. Shot bells ring, sirens scream, and baby, you've just gotten away with a full stash of gems. How much would you take, B? Be a bonus of between 25 and 500 coins. Now, folks, don't try this in real life. Scooping up someone else's diamonds and running away with them could be hazardous to your health, but here, you're sure to get away with it. The slot attendant will even help you collect your cash. If she's real nice, she'll even help you to your getaway car. Now, the thing about this game is that once you put in the time, you've got a good thing going on with this briefcase that's starting to fill up. To win the most cash, you're going to want to stay with the machine until you fill it all the way up, so don't leave it half full for someone else. If all this diamond thievery makes you hungry, try a piece of cherry pie with the Wild Cherry Bonus Pie slot game. This time your goal is to fill all the pie with cherries to win the bonus. But don't confuse the cherries with diamonds, or you might chip a tooth. Now that you're a successful diamond thief, what are you gonna do now? I thought so. You're going back for another heist. I'm out of here.
If you like casino gaming, you'll love Casino Player. Each issue gives you the winning edge and contains the latest on nationwide casino news, casino entertainment, winning strategies for slots and table games, slot payouts and where to find the loosest slots, and best blackjack. The best comps and how to get them, slot clubs reviewed and compared, and tournament schedules. Everything you need to know about casino gaming. Subscribe today and we'll send you the 2000 Casino Directory Fun Book absolutely free. Each issue contains comprehensive gambling articles and an in-depth casino directory. Plus, you'll get the fun book with over 145 valuable casino vouchers. Subscribe today for only $24 a year. Call 800-969-0711 to order your subscription today and have your credit card ready. Count on winning with Strictly Slots. If you love playing slots or video poker, Strictly Slots is the magazine you've been waiting for. Each issue contains inside information exclusively for slot and video poker players, reviews of the latest slot and video poker machines, surefire strategies to keep you winning longer, detailed slot payout charts, fascinating stories about mega jackpot winners, behind-the-scenes photo spreads, easy-to-read articles by gaming's top experts, and interviews with slot hosts. Subscribe today for only $24 a year. Call 800-969-0711 to order your subscription today and have your credit card ready.